What's up, guys? Thank you for joining the Johnny Taco Show season finale. This is episode 422. So 422 episodes all you diehard listeners had enjoyed and boasted and just flat out just hated sometimes. I don't know. Uh if there is hate, I've never seen it because, God is love and I can't see hate. So,
Mhm.
uh, just want to say thank you to all the guests throughout this year for being on the show. Want to give a thanks to those who couldn't make it. They tried. Things happen, schedules. Just a lot going on this year. There's a lot of powerful stuff going on this year. Um, Trump's second term has shooken United States as well as the world with him bringing back a lot of that hard-earned values that we hold dearly. Um, there is so many things going on in this world. Uncertainty for a lot. Flat out chaos through a lot of the liberal towns, and I just pray that the people are safe and that we can come down to an agreement, a peaceful agreement that no more bloodshed will happen. As what has happened to Charlie Kirk, a really awesome right wing Christian man, Christian values. Just keep his wife and children in prayers. Maybe this will be a turning point to show that, hey, violence is not the key to get your point across. And we need to get back into open discussion where we can talk without producing violence. And unfortunately, on both ends, there are people that are chaotic and they thrive on that violence. And I pray for them uh, to actually be convicted of their ways because in the end, I don't judge them. You don't judge them. Nobody judges them but God. God is the final judge when they pass on. May God have mercy on their souls and may they see the path they're going on is the wrong path and turn around towards the correct path, and that's the path with Jesus Christ. And we know He's a patient God, and you have until you die to make that choice to come back. So that is a really, really, really awesome God there to give you that option, to give you that free will. So just let you know that uh, during this time of when I'm off for the season, I'm I'm spending time with the family. I'm spending time with friends, family, uh, and most important, I'm spending time with the Lord. This season here is a mix of emotions for myself. Uh, missing family as they passed on, missing family as they become estranged. It's a roller coaster ride. So I'm going to be getting closer to the Lord through the Word and also through fellowship with my brothers and sisters at church and my family at home. God, please bless my best friend who passed away. Well, my best work friend passed away last week. He's came home to the kingdom. Uh, Please, if y'all have a prayer list, pray for Mike's family as they're going through this season of grief. God has said there is a season of grief. There will be a season of grief when you lose, but then there will be a season of rejoice because they are in the house of the Lord with Jesus. So, um, please pray for them. I just recently found out that my biological dad passed away about 2 weeks ago. it's kind of weird because I was not close to him, but I still feel that kind of grief because I wish I would have known him better. I wish we would have had uh, a relationship, so to speak. So um, I need prayers for patience and understanding as well. But just to let you know, we have the season finale. I have an awesome artist here. He's a one man band. He's a powerhouse. He is so Roman, uh, even though Roman's not very Christian, but he is so Roman that his name is Wanus. You know, if I met him down the road in the Roman road, I could see him be an army presence kind of guy. Felt a Navy retiree and also a one man powerhouse. Kind of like to me, the music kind of reminds me of Ministry. A couple of the songs kind of remind me of Ministry because Ministry does add sound, like sound clips of people talking and and the kind of psychedelic kind of way that the EDM and the guitars it just to me it pops out it's kind of like an earworm in your ear and you just want to hear more and more and then you're realizing while you're doing something you already been listening to his music for a while now. I was listening to it while I was getting ready for this show. It took me about an hour to get ready and I just realized, oh, it just restarted. So my pleasure to meet to introduce you to Wanus. Hey, Wanus.
How you doing, Johnny?
Hey, I'm doing very well. It's beautiful, beautiful first of the November. I know people are not going to be able to hear this until maybe the 15th of November, which gives a little hint,
That's my
a
birthday.
present,
So
a,
awesome.
a present to my new friend here.
There we go.
So,
November
uh,
babies. We got to stick together.
yep. My birthday's coming up soon. I'm be 49. I'm almost to
Oh,
that 50. I'm
yeah.
still
Well, I'll just let you know that you can make it. I'm past that point, and I'm on the other side of that wall, and I can just I'll reach a hand through the Zoom here and just say, "Come on over, brother."
I joke around when I say I want my senior citizen discount, uh, which my wife tells me I'm going to hell because I put in the senior thing for the movies. I'm like, no, no. She goes, Karma get to you. I'm going, no, Karma got to the theater for overpricing these tickets here. I was
Yeah.
just trying to help out Karma, and she's like, you can't quit asking people because then what happened is her she'll have to reflect in knowing that she's getting old too, even though she's 3 years younger than me.
I hear you.
Very young, 3 years younger than me.
Which is
So
29.
yes, it's
3 years
29.
younger than you, be 29. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for that save. You know,
I've been married in December. I'll be married 29 years. So I've learned a couple of things in marriage, but I still put my foot in my mouth plenty of times. But you know,
but
referring to your wife as young is always a good thing.
yes, and just because we're men, we don't always put our feet in the mouth. We're not cavemen. Sometimes I put the whole leg in my mouth.
Yeah.
She looks at me and she goes, I can't believe you just said that in front of everybody. I'm like, sometimes it just comes out
Oh yeah.
because
Yeah.
she came from a classy family.
Yeah.
Like they're family oriented. They very what is that? What is that word where uh, I forgot what that word
More
is.
cultured. I don't know if
Cultured.
that's right.
Yeah, there we go. They're more cultured. I came from a less cultured area. I
Yeah.
wasn't involved in Christianity growing up as a kid.
Mm, I get it. Yeah.
So she's more posh. There we go. That's the British
Yeah.
word, posh. And she likes to be pretty, pretty girl. She's a very pretty, pretty girl. She does everything. She has to make sure. I go over to her salon and I'm in like shorts and a t-shirt, and she goes, "Why are you wearing this stuff?"
Flip
And
flops.
yeah, flip
Yeah.
flops. The whole.
Or a croc. You got a pair of Crocs?
Of course.
Yeah. I'm wearing
I
I'm
got.
wearing a pair right now.
Hey, they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can take them off and on.
Yeah.
I'm very beach bummy when I
Oh
go
yeah.
over there.
I hear you.
So,
When it's
and
time to
you're
chill, it's
from
time to chill.
and you're from Georgia. Are you near
Yeah.
the coast?
I've been in Georgia since right before my 10th birthday. I'm actually, not that you need to know everything, but I was born in Illinois. Spent there a couple of years till my sister was born in Chicago area. Don't remember any of it because we moved to Arizona. Lived in Prescott, Arizona for about 7 years, and then my dad got a job. We drove across country. My first birthday in Georgia was 10, so 10 till now has been my life in Georgia. So some people think I don't have the Southern accent of somebody from Georgia, and that may be why, because I wasn't born here. But I drive a truck at work, and sometimes if I'm talking with the other redneck truck drivers, you'll hear some Southern stuff come out of me. But for the most part, I don't think I have any kind of a Southern accent, but sometimes I do.
So so were you moving around because your father was a military as well,
That was
Marine,
actually
right?
before I was born, but yeah, he was a cop for a while when I was a kid, and then in the early '80s when computers were becoming a big thing, he went to one of those schools, computer oriented, and then we moved from Arizona to here, where my mom was originally from. But yeah, that's kind of how we got here.
Hey, well, Georgia is a very beautiful place,
Yeah,
so
we love the fall here. I'm ready for summer to be done.
yeah. I've been waiting for summer even before summer started because I'm not very good with heat. I
Oh, I
love
hear
it
you.
when it's cold.
That's actually, I'm wearing this my one of my songs, Die Summer Die. That's actually how the Die Summer Die song started, was kind of complaining about summer heat, and I just kind of developed into other things in the song, made it more of a relationship song. But anyway, just a little plug since I was wearing it. Forgot I was wearing this hoodie.
And
But yeah.
I heard that song and I was like, well, this is a very peculiar name of the song. And I'm like, is this like a true story about a serial killer or something like that? And
Yeah,
then
the word kill and murder is not in the song. It's actually about a relationship dying.
yeah,
Summer is kind of like the character, the female character. And this is actually, if you see this in the online platforms, that's my wife's face, but she's playing the part of Summer. And so it's supposed to be like this toxic relationship. And the track, the Reverend Wanus exhortation, which is a track that if you listen to that before Die Summer Die, it's sort of a pastor talking about a relationship with a woman that ends up really taking him in a dark direction. And the song's really about um,
well,
using imagery like I'm falling away, and kind of like summer to fall, falling away, saying goodbye. The song is basically about ending a relationship. So I was trying to make a storyline out of it. Some people don't catch on to it, but it's all right. You try and put what you can into music. Sometimes people don't catch on, but it's all good. You just move
but
on to the next thing.
yeah, I was going to say is when I played it on Apple, that the Reverend Wanus came
Yeah.
on like the
Hmm.
radio station and all that.
Yeah. Uh,
And then I was like, oh, okay, that was what that song was about. And I'm like, well, this is a little
yeah.
uh, taking
Yeah.
me
It's a
on a
little weird.
trip.
This is
Yeah.
just sort of one of those things. I was like, I don't know if you and some of your listeners, if you ever spent it all listening to a guy named Carmen growing up. He was kind of a storyteller kind of guy, and I'm kind of embarrassed that I liked a lot of his stuff, but he did a lot of stories with his music, and that was sort of me kind of trying to go in that direction.
Yeah, because Carmen was back in the what 80s, early
Yeah, 80s
90s.
and 90s,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I like the stories more than his music, but yeah, he was great at that.
Yeah, my wife played a song not that long ago and I was looking, I was like, this is why this is probably why I didn't really get into Christian music, but
Oh, I
then
hear you. Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah,
I
I get that.
But I remember the Christianity back in the 80s and 90s where I don't know if you heard, what was it, the Power Team?
Yeah, the
A bunch,
weightlifters. Yeah,
yeah,
uh-huh.
and they're ripping
Yeah,
uh
phone books in half and bending pots and pans, metal. Yeah, exactly.
and um and they were based out of what Texarkana, I believe, because I remember
Yeah.
going to Arkansas and seeing the
Did
Power
you really?
Team.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never saw them, but I always saw people talking about kind of like Bible Man and things like that of the past, where it was a form of Christian entertainment where you could invite somebody to church to see something different. Sometimes it was cheesy, sometimes it was fun, but it was just memories doing all that stuff.
And it was fun. It was really cool. And then I was thinking, well, if I get with this God thing, maybe I could rip a phone book in half
Right?
and
Yeah.
all that.
Through the power of the Holy Spirit. Yeah. Rip a
Yeah.
phone book in half. Yeah.
But it was very entertaining. So
Yeah.
your music is entertaining as well.
Cool. I
It
appreciate it.
has a, to me, like when I said earlier, I loved Ministry, that
Hmm.
band Ministry back in the day, the Land of Milk and Honey
Hmm.
album, which it's not milk, it's something else, is another
Yeah.
thing, and I don't want to say
Yeah.
the name on there, but
I hear you.
I kind of like the Land of Milk and Honey better from the Bible.
Hmm.
Anyway, so um, but it's kind of like an acid trip for Jesus kind of music, if
All
you
right.
think about
Cool.
it. My
I'll
what was
use
it?
that in the description. People ask me, "What's your music style?" Well, Johnny Taco says it's like an acid trip for Christians. Yeah.
Hey, you can go on a trip with a spiritual trip
Yeah. There you go.
without the help of narcotics. Just listen to
Yeah.
Wayne. Just put it on, but warning: do not play this music while you're driving. You might see angels. How did you come up with the band? How with this genre of music, other than the other genres that are out there that are Christian based? Was this supposed to be a
Um,
Christian band in the beginning?
well, I kind of spent most of my life, I was kind of a late bloomer as far as doing anything with music. I was in my probably early mid 20s before I picked up a guitar. And, to the kids that grew up taking lessons and stuff, I didn't have any of that. I had friends that were great musicians, and I was always intimidated to do stuff around. I would always hang out and watch them. And finally, one day, bought an acoustic guitar at probably a pawn shop or something, and just started learning some chords and just kind of, I'd always liked writing lyrics. I was even doing that to some rap stuff when I was in middle school. I always liked writing lyrics down, and just didn't really, and being in youth choir, growing up in church, is sometimes cheesy that can be. I was always in youth choir more because there was probably some girl I liked type of thing. So I was kind of connected with music, but not really creating it until many years later, and doing the worship band stuff at church, or playing with some guys in your friend's basement type of garage band stuff. And I didn't really like, I was more the creator guy and not the technical guy, so I would always go to somebody else's house to record music. And then somewhere around 2019, I decided, I'm getting old, I need to learn how to record stuff myself. And so I went and bought some equipment. And funny thing happens that whole next year, 2020, and people are quarantined and all that stuff. And so I was like, well, sounds like a good time to learn how to record your stuff. And so, and I know a lot of people did that kind of thing, maybe podcasting and recording music and all that kind of stuff. And so it's really just been a solo thing. I've had friend musicians play on my music, but it's really Wanus is just me creating music. And so it's worked for me. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to go on a 50 city tour type thing. If God brings something to me, great. But I'm just making it as a creative outlet, and for me, a ministry on, um, as a way, I think, of talking with people about biblical concepts that are in songs. And so in terms of it, it's not really a band. It's really just me, but I hope to do more live stuff in the future, though, in sort of a band capacity.
And with that, talking about live, have you performed live?
Actually, I've only done it once a couple of years ago, and let me just tell you, it was a fun disaster, to put it lightly. It was mainly because I didn't have a real sound guy behind the board. I'm trying holding the guitar and trying to, mess with the soundboard. Anybody who's ever tried to do that knows you can either. There are guys that can do it well. I did not do it well, but it was a live sort of. It's kind of. It wasn't like a real gig. I was more of a family and friends thing. Hey, come on over. We're gonna play some music, and it was fun. But yeah, I want my goal personally is to play live and not just. I mean, there's lots of guys that want to just record music and put it out to the world. That's not really my goal. I'd rather be in front of people and be able to talk to them about, whether it's just music or the things of God or more of a relational thing. Personally, that's just goals that I have.
Yeah, and the 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 best part of like doing it live is having fun. You know, if it
Right.
was with family and friends, it must have not been that anxiety driven at the moment
Right.
because,
Yeah.
uh, but learning all this in your 20s, um, that kind of gives you a Garth Brooks kind of feel if you think about it, because I think that's when his career was starting, was like in his 30s.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Oh,
So,
that's a massively talented guy. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
so um you do this for God. You do this to preach the word, to push out his word. Uh, you have a job where you're a truck driver, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's my day job. Yeah.
Okay. And with that, have you had a chance to promote your music through there, or at least?
It's mostly like everything else, like doing a podcast. You promote it through socials. I mean, if I run into people and they see a magnet on my truck or whatever that's promoting my music, I can mention it to them or hand them a sticker or whatever. It's just like a promoting your YouTube channel. You can give somebody something with a QR code on it. There's lots of options now to be able to do that we didn't have just a few years ago. But yes, it's mostly just I want to make more music so I can go and play at places, whether churches or bars or wherever they need bands to play type thing, and just kind of get your music out there is what I think everybody wants to do with their music. But that's pretty much my goal, is to just keep creating and keep wanting to be an influence on the world while I'm alive.
Yeah, and that right there is the perfect answer to it. You want to go out there and be able to sow the seeds, so to speak,
Hmm.
to be that earworm in people's ears. Have you
Hmm.
got a lot of traction on Spotify or Apple with your music?
Not a ton, honestly. I forget because if you, I don't know, there's so many music oriented podcasts out there, and I've heard that there's something like 80 or 100,000 songs uploaded to music to Spotify a day type of thing. So people are constantly putting new stuff out there, and it's just like when you and I get on Spotify, whatever shows up is the newest song shows up, and you get links to that. So we're always being distracted by the newest thing. So it's a lot of work, trying to get your stuff out there, but like you said, when you have like lots of, I'm sure musicians have, you're not just doing music, you're working a full-time job or being a dad, being a grandparent, or in my case, I'm helping my wife run a business of hers. And so it's just, I want it to be more than just a hobby, but it's still a passion. And even if I don't make money doing it, it's okay. But I just want to, be faithful in the small things, as Christ said. Um, because we're, even if it's not a career, that doesn't mean it's not important. It's just like I tell a friend, if you're passionate about fishing, I could ask somebody that, why do you go fishing if you don't make money? It's like, hey, it's what you do to relax. It's what you do to enjoy yourself, unwind. To me, it's kind of like what I've done with Wanus music. It's something I'm passionate about, that I can spend money on it and not make. It'd be great to make some money on it and great to have listeners, but it's not the driving force every day. It's more for me wanting to communicate ideas of just being creative and using it in a ministry type of way is the overall goal. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I do this, it's to meet people My
Mm.
wife says I don't have any friends, and so I just kind of hijack people and tell them, "Hey, you want to do a podcast? Just be my friend
Yeah,
for 30 minutes, so my
I
wife
hear
won't
you.
be mad at me." So, no, no, I do this because um, I don't know if I don't know if I'd be good as a preacher to go out there and
Hmm.
do stuff like Billy Graham and or TD Jakes or
Hmm.
anybody out there go out there and uh, just kind of have a charismatic vibe on them to actually preach the word to a point where it's like, hey, I understand them. This is awesome.
Hmm.
My pastor here in Midlothian, Texas, uh, he he has a way of talking and pushing out the word where not only is it more informative, but it's entertaining and it keeps your attention, especially
Hmm.
with me where I have my squirrel moments and
Yeah,
just go
same
off
here.
to the left and instead of veering to the right with everybody else. Um, I didn't think I can do that. Um, the one thing I knew I can do is I can talk to people. I can put this out. I can make the reels. I can go out there and put this out. I'm just not very good at selling myself because I didn't grow up with high
Sure, but
self-esteem.
there's a big audience. I didn't mean to interrupt where you're going with that, but there's a big audience of people that don't like really slick stuff. That's the advantage. That's why a lot of the, and I'll say nobodies like me can go out there and make music and do podcasts because you kind of feel like it appeals to everyday people. They're not looking for, so I don't know if you're into race car driving. I'm not really into race car driving, but there's a lot of people who like to see their buddy, who started racing go and race or become successful because it's like that's a regular guy doing stuff. It's not somebody who had a bunch of money doing it. So, there's always to me going to be an audience just for simple things, like you and I do, just for if a few people, look at it or listen to it and they get something out of it, that's awesome and God can use that. But it's I think a lot of times, especially, most people would consider the church that I go to be maybe a mega church. It's pretty big, and people can get overwhelmed with just kind of the bigness of it. Or if you go to concerts and you just think, well, what I do isn't that important. But if you just kind of concentrate on just your inner circle of my family, the people that God brings into my life, somebody at the gas station who looks like they need someone to talk to. I mean, just concentrate on the small stuff and don't worry about the big stuff. And I think we can all take advantage of that.
Yeah, and we tried the mega churches to go in.
Mhm.
To me, I felt like I was kind of thrown into the flood,
Mhm.
into the sea of many, many people.
Yeah, I get
And
it.
it's me and my wife, we're not very outgoing to meet a lot of people,
Mhm.
and it's just our nature, it's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with us. Um, you know, we wanted to go to a church where it's big, but it's not too big where you can't meet people
Mhm.
and have lunch with them, or
Right. Yeah.
have a double date, or do something fun. And
Mhm.
we went to this church renovation where I go to church at, and they're growing. They're growing. I'm part of their producer for the smaller satellite one.
Cool.
But I get to meet everybody. I know pretty much everybody there, and uh, as much as I try to push away people, they kind of like come to me and talk to me,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
it's a little different. It's a little different because
Mhm.
when I gave up my myself when I became baptized, when I died and reborn. Um, a lot of the people that I hung out with weren't very, they were very snake tongued people.
Mhm.
So I had to separate the venomous parts of my social circle.
Yeah.
And now I'm just trying to fill them up with more positive, like-minded individuals, people that are Christian and that you know will help me be boosted up
Hmm.
than to push me down. So,
Hmm.
and that
And
is,
sorry, I was just going to say, I think that's kind of an ongoing thing, whether someone's a brand new Christian at 40 years old or you're 10 years old. I think I was 11 when I came to Christ, and there's toxic people in church. That doesn't mean just because you go to church that you'll only have good influence. It's just that you got to take that upon yourself, just like you just did, and kind of creating relationships with people that are going to build you up and not the ones that are going to constantly trip you up all the time. So unfortunately, that's just life, where you got to continue to maintain that kind of thing.
yeah, and it's unfortunate that there are those types of people in church that do that. But there's those people everywhere you go, and in your
Hmm.
work,
Yep.
at your school, if you go to school, college,
Yep.
anywhere you go, you're going to have people that turn out to look pretty and shiny and awesome, but then when you get down into the creamy center, you find out that it's venomous. It's pushing you down, sort of like that die, summer die.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and we've all had those kind of relationships where it was to a point where the toxicity started affecting the way of life that yourself had to go through. And I've been
Hmm.
through all that, and we can talk. It'd be hours of me
Oh yeah, I
talking
hear you.
about past relationships and stuff like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we only have a little bit left on this show. I'm really blessed to know you, Wanus,
You too, man.
for being here and taking time out of your busy schedule over there in
Sure,
Georgia.
man. It's been awesome.
Um, my question is, do you have any words of wisdom? I know you're a little bit older than me. Any words of wisdom, Reverend Wanus, to the
Um,
listeners that are out here?
I would say, at least from a faith perspective, be patient with what God's doing in your life. Because sometimes we get impatient with whether your background is coming from addictions or, lots of people have a lot of broken relationships, whether it's divorces or just estranged relationships, like you said you had with your dad. It's sometimes God doesn't always, heal things right away. I would just say allow yourself some time, give yourself a break. Don't just condemn yourself just because, you quit smoking, I don't know, 6 months ago and you can't stop thinking about having cigarettes or whatever the thing is just be patient and just spend time with God, spend time with other people that want to grow in their walk with God. I'm kind of ashamed to say that I was over 50 before I started reading through the Bible from cover to cover. I thought that I knew a lot of the Bible, and we started doing the Bible recap, which is a great resource. You guys, I've got a book near me, but people, the BibleRecap.com, it's like a daily reading plan, which can be very intimidating to some people when you go from not reading the Bible at all to try and do something every day. But you just cut yourself a break. If you do it a couple of times a week, it's great. But just making a point to spend time. And I grew up in the whole quiet time mentality of when I get up in the morning, I'm supposed to spend time and pray. And I found that doesn't work for me. It's more when I get home from work, I sit down and I've got some time to read and pray and think about where my life is and just ask God to speak to me through His Word and just just trying to give God space to speak, because if we're just constantly busy, oh, I got to go do this. Oh, I got to do that. Oh, the show's coming on in 30 minutes. Oh, I got to hurry up and, read, or I got to hurry up and pray. It's just, learning how to slow down and spend time with God. And so that I would just say generally, just give yourself some slack, some patience, and spending time with God doesn't have to be complicated. Just reading the Bible and praying and getting together with others that want the same thing, and you'll see some changes in your life if you allow God some space to do that.
All right. Thank you. You know, that right there, I needed to hear that as well because
Cool.
there's been times where patience is not my forte.
Hmm.
Patience, me and patience have a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
So, uh, to me, and then I start thinking about, God had told David he was going to be king
Hmm.
and he did not end up being king until years and years and years later.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, if
true.
you read the Bible, when God speaks to anybody, it's not instant they become who they are, and
Hmm.
that was spoken in the Word. Uh, so yeah, that's where patience has to come because you have to be patient and understand that we're not on God's. I mean, we're not on our time. We're on God's time.
Hmm.
And when God gives finally gives you that blessing, it's not just a sprinkle of a blessing. It's an overflowing flood, and
Hmm.
you just have to be ready to receive that. And you also have to be mindset to know when that blessing is here, because so many
Hmm.
times we trip over our own understanding just to miss a blessing
Hmm.
that God has given you. And then you're going around being upset and saying, "Why God? Why God? Why have you not take help me or anything?" It's just like I remember this joke. Um, a guy goes to church every day and he prays, "Hey, I need to win the lottery." He goes there every day. He stands in front of Jesus and he gets on his knees and he says, "Lord, I need to win the lottery. I need to win the lottery." And months go by and he's praying, "Hey, I need to win the lottery." And then all of a sudden, a rumble comes up and the statue of Jesus becomes alive. And the words that come out of Jesus' mouth, it says, "First, you have to play the lottery." So,
Yeah.
what it is, you're asking and you're asking and you're asking, and you're not putting forth what you need to do to be
Right.
to uh, to be a part of what you have in your heart to do.
Hmm.
It's just like, hey, I want to be a famous rapper, but you don't even rap.
Right. Yeah.
Or hey, I want to learn how to play the guitar,
Hmm.
and you haven't went out there and bought you a guitar from the pawn shop. That's a
Yeah.
Brian Adams song. Um,
Yeah, and
but
I think part of that is also just understanding what God has equipped you to do. What are the things that you like to do? What are you good at? Do you have friends that can see things in you? Like somebody says, Johnny, you're great at making people feel, comfortable and talking, those kinds of things, and that kind of brought you to where you are. We're doing a podcast, um it doesn't have to be some huge goal, about going to a foreign land or whatever, just asking God, what have I been given, to be able to use to help people out.
yeah, because he is before you were born, you were already given a gift. You just have to
Hmm.
find out what gift that is. I think it's multiple gifts. You get
Hmm.
multiple gifts of the Spirit.
Sure.
Um, and you have to find out which one it is. And if you're like you're doing one thing and it's not working, maybe that's not your gift. Try a
True.
different way. Try it at
Hmm.
a different way. Um, I wanted to be a rock star like Megadeth and Iron
Hmm.
Maiden and stuff like
I hear
that.
you.
But then I realized, you know what? Um, I was asked to sing solo at my church one time, and I was excited about it. And they said, "Hey, can you sing solo that nobody can hear you?" And then I was like,
Right.
"Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, maybe singing is not in my, not in my
Right.
life." So,
I hear you.
but yeah, when I worship and I feel the Lord, I'm singing. I don't care how bad I sing.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, yep. My career was short lived.
Oh, I hear you.
But yeah, man, I want to thank you for being on the show for my season finale.
Awesome.
It's
Pleasure to be
awesome.
here.
It was awesome to meet you. We'll keep in touch. I want to.
We'll do. All my links are at iamwanus.com. This is for my music and podcasts and everything I do. Iamwanus.com. Spelled
And
W like what Wanus.
and just to let you know, he did a remix of The Promise. So if you're an '80s kid,
Oh, yeah.
and you want to jam out, it was a love song to your wife,
Yeah, for our
and
anniversary a few years ago, I did that. Yeah.
and you're like, hey, how can I bless the guys here? Here, let me give you this song, and then you go and play that to your wives.
Right, yeah.
So
So next time you're watching Napoleon Dynamite, the ending credits are coming on, you're like, hey, you know what? I think I heard somebody do that song.
yeah, and it's
I
it's a refreshing version of it.
appreciate it. Thank you.
I really liked it.
Thank you.
I was like, I know the song. When I was playing, I looked down. Oh, it's The Promise. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little less British. No, I think he was from Britain. Wasn't he from Britain?
Yeah, I think they're from Britain. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
was during that British explosion, like with all these British artists that came through.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
but
Well, awesome, man. I appreciate you liking it.
hey, man, thank you so much. I need to get me some Wanus stickers for
Cool, man. I'll,
my
I'll send you
little
something. Yeah.
box here. It's
Hey, let me
not a
tell you,
box,
I'll
it's
tell you real
scrapbook.
quick. Thursday, I went to get my oil change and I'm driving over to this dealership where I bought my truck. And this lady says, "Oh, I see that you're a veteran from the decal on the back of your truck, so I'm giving you a veteran's discount." And I was thinking, I don't have a sticker showing that I'm a veteran, and it was the Semper Fi sticker magnet that I made for my song that she saw, and she assumed I was a veteran because she saw Semper Fi on the back of my truck, and so I was like, "Hey." If it got, and I actually am a veteran because of the Navy, but I was telling some of my followers, like, oh, I'm not going to say it's going to get you a discount, but it might not hurt. So I'll send you a magnet.
I don't want to have stolen valor. I was like, well, I was in the KISS army back in
There
the
you go.
back in the
Yeah.
90s, and then I'm
Yeah.
in God's army.
There you
I
go.
add that to my senior citizen discount. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. But it's been awesome, Johnny. I appreciate you having a talk with me.
Well, God bless you. And
Thanks,
just to
sir.
let y'all know, the new listeners that happen to stumble upon this show, thinking this is a food network where I would make the most delicious tacos with my guest, you have been sadly mistaken. But I do have edification, and that's edification of Jesus Christ through the interviews with my guest and my constant babbling. You are welcomed here. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you had made it all this way, please like and subscribe so everybody else can go into this algorithm where people can enjoy the show and actually get something out of it through the words of our guests. The testimonies have been so awesome to hear, and it just shows how powerful our God is and how wonderful and how gracious He is to bring the lost men and women back home with the 99. Uh, with that, saying is, if you have any issues, if you're feeling down, depressed, if there's something you need to have pray, please send an IM to the Johnny Taco Show. Um, you know, we'll put you on our prayer list as well as we'll talk to you what you're going through because we shouldn't do this alone because God did not create us as solo people, as solo artists, but as a group band. I'm not trying to say anything bad about Wanus being a soloist, but
I,
hey, but if you're awesome enough to be a soloist, man, have at it. Have at it.
I get a lot of help, so I'm blessed. Yeah.
Yes. The help from above.
There you go.
So, but yeah, if you need that, or if you need to talk, a lot of my guests are willing to listen and willing to pray for you as well. So, and
Thank you, sir.
also, if you want to hear more of Wanus, you can go on the Johnny Taco Spotlight on Apple Music, where I will put a couple of his songs on there. So you just jam out to the playlist. You will never need another playlist again. You'll just get on there and listen to a cornucopia of different artists, music, so you'll get a taste of all the inspirational stuff out there. So, all right. Well, this is Johnny Tacos here. I am signing out until 2026. No, 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 no. I am doing a Christmas special, but it won't be recorded. It will be live. So anything messes up, I'm sorry in advance. All right. So let's get out of here. I don't want you to have a good day. No, we don't want you to have a good day. We want you to have a great day. I'm Johnny Tacos, and we are out. And stop.